Welcome back from that feature on who is a real estate surveyor as well as their challenges. And to take it further in our discussion segment, we want to know in this discussion segment who is a real estate developer. And this morning, I have been joined with an estate developer who is also an executive director, Derby Partners Nigeria Limited, to talk about the authentication of title documents, how to know that the title document you're holding is a genuine one. Help me welcome Samuel Ajayi to the program. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, Mom.
All
Thank
right,
you.
okay. Now we want to talk about the authentication of title documents. But before we go into all of that, you as a real estate developer, if I say who is a real estate developer, how should I answer it? I don't know the answer, but you know the answer. So who is a real estate developer?
Okay, thank you, Mom.
You're welcome.
Basically, real estate developer are the people that cater for the need of housing.
Okay.
Of course, you know that currently we have a lot of housing deficit in Nigeria,
Sure.
and it's becoming difficult for people to own a house in the country as it stands. So what developers do is they get land, they help to construct or build those land for off-takers to, to off-take the land and, have a place to also have a roof over their head. So that's basically real estate development.
Wow, what a short and interesting definition. Now that we talked about, we are going to talk about the authentication of title document, which is the originality of the paper. Now, why is it important to verify that the document you're having to the land or any property is genuine?
Okay, so basically, right, because of the structure built in the country, especially, let me use our confined, which is Abuja, as a case study. There are a lot of, well, I'll call it encumbrances, a lot of issues that may arise on the land that you're going, because the land that you are being given or the land that you're buying, first and first, you do not know who the original allotee. You don't know who is the first person that got the land before the second person before it gets to you. So it is very, very important for you to do your proper due diligence.
Okay.
And what are the due diligence? It is your search.
Okay.
It is for you to ascertain that the land is authentic.
Okay.
And how do you go about this search? Is number one, you have to confirm. We have a lot of agencies you can confirm from, which is the ages.
Okay.
You go to the ages, you tender the title document that has been tendered, that have been given to you on the land. Then you tender it to them. They do their proper due diligence. They will check on their system. So when they check on their system, they will be able to ascertain if there's any ground rent. Okay. On the land, it will be discovered. Okay. If there are any encumbrances on the land, it will be discovered, so that it will save your head at the end of the day. Because when you go into a land with the purpose of you, that is a builder, you want to build, and probably maybe you have paid a good sum of money for that land. And as you're moving into that land, you're moving with the conscience of either profit or investment. And it will be a big deal for you when you now discover after building to a particular height, maybe development control comes and they tell you that this land is not valid, or FCT order comes in and it tells you it's not valid. It's going to be a slap. So that is why it is very important, if you want to build, if you want to move into land, or if you have any land that you want to buy, do your proper due diligence. And do you know it? The beautiful part of it is it doesn't cost much. So why going to spend much more later, heavily, to clear mess
when you can do it from the
so basically
beginning?
That's all.
Wow. Well, we know that shelter is one of the major needs of man.
Very
and,
well.
For you to have a roof over your head,
Very important.
It is not what you take with levity. Now, bringing it down to the Federal Capital Territory, we know recently the FCT minister had said that if you do not go to, pay for your certificate of occupancy, your land will be revoked. How well are you sensitizing Nigerians on how to arrive at this target, because it is your area and your space?
Okay, so basically, right, I would also say that whatever the FCT minister is doing currently is doing it for
our own good,
for our own best. Abuja, as it stands, FCT, the capital of Nigeria, has a master plan. And you and I did not sit down to draw that master plan. Professionals are being employed to draw that master plan for our own good, because it will not make sense where you just wake up, you in the middle of your road, middle of the road, you are seeing houses coming up. So for now, whatever the FCT minister is doing currently is for our own good. And what I've been sensitizing people is we know what is right. We know what is obtainable. I would only paint a picture to us. Isn't it better you do the right thing now
the needful,
and save yourself from unnecessary pressure much more later than you just, put your acts together and you want to compromise, you want to boycott the system. Much more later, you face it. So I would rather say that if you have a land and it is something you want to build, you should do the proper due diligence.
Okay. Like when you were giving us the definition of who a real estate developer is, you say you can get a property for whoever you want to sell it to. Now, I want to bring it down to, in a clear terms, is it possible that a common man can have a property or land in the Federal Capital Territory? If yes, how?
Okay. The answer is strictly yes.
Okay, how?
Reason is because first thing first.
All right.
Let me just because you said we should bring
All
it down
right,
to
down.
10. Of course, we know Abuja is a highbrow city. It's a big city, and we still have civil servant there.
Okay.
You understand? And I always tell people that people that have hundreds of millions have different options.
Okay, they have different options. Hold it there. When we come back, you talk to us how
right.
ordinary Nigerians can have access to
Thank
land
you.
or property in the Federal Capital Territory. Now, let's quickly go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll still be here to talk to you on how to have the new title document as well as how you can have land in the Federal Capital Territory. Stay with us, please. Welcome back. And before we went on that break, you were trying to talk to us on how ordinary Nigerians, when I say ordinary Nigerians, you know who I'm referring to, can have property or land in the Federal Capital Territory.
Okay, so basically, just like as I was saying, we have agencies who can also help come in to help you help ordinary Nigerians get housing property, as the case may be. Some of these agencies through your National Housing Fund. A lot of us are contributing to NHF, National Housing Fund. So if you're contributing to NHF, you can tap into your NHF to access house, because we have rent to own scheme, we have the normal NHF that you can tap into. Also, I would always tell people, when you know what you're going for, you start planning ahead of time.
Ahead of time.
Do you understand? So because you can't run faster than your shadow. If you know where you're going to, you start planning ahead of time. There are some, the problem we Nigerians have, basically, most people that want to get houses. Now, you have a property of 20 million, you have a property of 40 million. But because you are aiming higher, you are going for a property of 40 million, and your salary cannot even. So why not you go for a lower property where you know that you can meet up? Do you understand? Now, this NHF can give you a wider spread of payment. Yeah. You understand? So with your little 5 million, with ease, with your little 5 million, with little 10 million, you can key into a project, and your NHF will fund the remaining part of the project. So it gives you leverage. If you have 20 years, say 20 years or 25 years to spread the payment, of course, I don't think anybody will be under pressure within that. So it will be easier for the civil service or the civil servant to be able to key into property. And also locations matter.
Location matters.
You want to get a property and you know that the money that you are earning you will not be able to match up. You are looking for Metama, you are looking for Gozape. It's not possible. But there are other areas who can still give you. Yes, you are in a dreamland. Yes, there are still some other area that can give you the taste of luxury you want. Then the choice of house type. So if you put all this into consideration, number one, I've talked about the location. Number two, the price. Number three, the choice of house type you're going to. So if you put all of this into consideration and you play around with it, of course, getting a house.
You have gotten your property.
You've gotten your property.
All right, all right, okay. As an estate developer, put us through some of the likely challenges that you are facing or is to be faced by a real estate developer.
Okay, so basically, just like as I've already said, because you are not too certain who the first landowner is. Do you understand? And of course, all land belongs to the government. So because you're not too certain, so you may get a land and there'll be a lot of encumbrances on the land. So you have to pass through that process if you want to clear it. And
the issue of land racketeering.
Exactly. And also, if that place is a place you know that is of high prospect, you would want to clear the mess so that you can move into the project. That is number one. Number two, the texture of the land, the area of the land, which is the land topography. Sometimes it may not be as you plan. Sometimes you have to invest. Like there's a particular land that we got for instance, when we got to the land, there are a lot of bridges we have to construct. So that alone is taking about 40 to 50 million already just to do a bridge. You have to create an access. So sometimes accessibility, access road is one of our major challenges.
Okay.
You understand? So it's not even to build. Then another thing is the high cost of building material. Right now, as I speak to you, I don't know how tomorrow will be, but the cost of cement is going up on a daily basis. And if you have collected money down as a developer, you have to meet up, you have to deliver. If you don't deliver again, it's a problem. So every time, every day, you have to keep thinking of the next line of action to take.
And you have to be ahead.
You just have to be ahead of the game.
Yes.
See, it's the game. You have to be ahead of the game. There's nothing you can do about it. You have to be ahead of, and the only way you can be ahead of the game is to always set your standard in such a way that all these factors is being considered properly at the early stage or at the preliminary stage. It has to be considered. So the cost of building materials now, I won't lie to you, is seriously telling on us as developers. So obviously, it's one of the major, I would say, the major
I will
factor.
agree with you that what we are going through as a nation, talking about economic challenges, it's all fresh everywhere. Everyone is feeling the heat.
Very true.
And I want to believe it's a transformation for us that we all believe that we'll get it right. So quickly, as we round up this section of interview, now, what's your message to Nigerians on land investment? Is it a way to go?
Yes, it's a way to go. Okay, let me quickly give you breakdown. Why I said, okay, let me say it is 100% way to go.
Way to go.
As the way the country is right now, there are a lot of good gain in land investment. You can imagine, for instance, you get a land take for instance, in Kuje, for instance, as it stands. Now, the road in Kuje currently is a dual carriage road. They are working on it. All the landowners, they are trying to meet up to standard. So now, if you invest on land now, you are having a good high ROI, which is return on investment. So you can imagine when you buy maybe a property of 10 million or a property of 15 million. Now, in the next 6 months, you'll be talking about 40% yield on return. Which other business would you want to do to get you that kind of money? So obviously, it is a goal for me.
A way to go. Thank you so much for your time with us this morning and for what you told us. If you have a way of, solving a problem at a preliminary stage, why wait for later?
It is what it is.
Thank you so much for coming to talk to us on authentication of title documents and how easy it can be for ordinary Nigerians to own a property or land in the Federal Capital Territory. We do really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
All right. We've been talking to Samuel Ajayi, who is a real estate developer, and together we looked at the authentication of title documents, and he has advised us this morning, go for verification. Do not cut corners so you don't create problems for yourself in future. Now let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll still be here and we'll bring more for you on the show. Stay with us, please. Welcome back from the break, and it's good to know you have rejoined us again on the program Good Morning Abuja, showing only on the Unity Station NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Now to road matters, and this morning we'll be looking at dangers of drunk driving, especially this Ember month, and we have an in-house person that comes every Thursday to educate us and to enlighten us more on how to use our road and stay safe on our road. Help me welcome CRC Silvana Zakweong, who is the Unit Head of Operations Central Business District, to the program. Okay, yeah, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you again.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay, you know how we do it. Before we go into the topic we have this morning, dangers of drunk driving. Give us the overview of what happened within the week under review.
The week under review, we have low We are recorded low traffic crashes within the week, and the traffic situation within the FCT is been under control. And our men are always everywhere to make sure that anywhere we have congestions, we make sure that the free flow of traffic. So the week under review has been a very good week for us as we recorded a very low traffic crash.
So we say we thank you for what you and your men are doing on the road to ensure we stay alive for our family and especially for the society. Now let's go to the topic we have before us this morning. When we talk about dangers of drunk driving, what are we referring to?
You see, when we talk about drunk driving, we view drunk driving as a dangerous and preventable way that you can avoid a road traffic crash. Most people that drinks and enter wheels have a serious challenges because one, to impair your sense of reasoning, even your judgment, and you will not be your visions would not be well. And especially the festive period when people drinks more, we see that the festive period is in time that you see more people been drinking and increase in alcohol intake, and that also affect the driving culture, especially when you are driving when you are driving and you are drunk, and you know the danger that will cause when you are not with your right senses in driving.
Okay, thank you very much. You know, when you were talking about alcohol impairments, how does it really affect driving?
Alcohol impairment affect driving in different ways.
Okay.
One, when you are drunk, you will not be able. You reduce your reaction time. You know, there is this when you are not in your right sense, the reduction in reaction time is that the brain will reduce the speed of reasoning. So at that moment, you are not in your right senses, and you will not be able to determine, oh, if I'm to go on a speed of, let's say, 30 kilometers per hour, because you are intoxicated, there is that tendency. You have to speed your vehicle. You have to also do dangerous or reckless overtaking. You see, that time you are not more in your right senses.
Your right senses.
Everything that comes, you in short, you even pay your vision because you will not be able to see. Wow. Maybe there's a pedestrian. You get to zebra crossing. There's a pedestrian that's supposed to cross, that want to cross the road, and you just move. At that moment, you know that we said speed thrills, but it kills.
It kills.
At that moment, you see your senses will reduce you because your brain will not calculating well, and you are now under the influence of alcohol. And when you are under influence of alcohol, so many things happen.
Happens. Okay. You know, you told us that this is Ember months. This is a period that people come together to party, to enjoy, and anything. Alcohol is not out of it.
Yeah.
But you know, we have to, you know, encourage ourselves and be conscious of anything we are doing. You know, if you take alcohol too much, the consequences is beyond what you can even say or imagine. Now, I want you to like spelt it out for us in a clear terms the consequences of drunk driving.
Drunk driving has so many consequences. It does not left only for drivers alone. It affects the passengers. It affects your family. It affects the whole country as a large. It affects your economy. Now you are drunk and you enter a vehicle. You're on the wheel and you are moving out and involved in a crash. The fatality rate will be high. Because one, you are speeding. If you are going for a speed of, let's say, 30 kilometers per hour and you crash, the impact of damage will be minimal than you going with a speed of 100 kilometers per hour. You compare the impact of that one going with 30 kilometers to the one of 100 kilometers, you see that the impact will be high. So when you are drunk and you are in a wheel and you crash, the rate of fatality will be high. Now you see that the trauma, if you are alive, if you are alive, maybe
that
you
is
have,
when you tell the story.
you tell the story,
right.
and maybe you have lost one of your leg
Wow.
in the course of the crash. Maybe you have this. Maybe you have a spinal cord injury in the course of the crash. You know the trauma that will be for life. You will not be able to recognize. You will not be yourself any longer. Your family will suffer. Your vehicle, if still repairable, it cost you more money. It costs more on your economy to repair the vehicle. If your vehicle is not being repaired, that is gone. It's right off. So who lost? It is because of what we can prevent.
Yes.
That's why we said you can prevent while you are drunk. You don't need to enter your vehicle and drive. You can bought a public transport.
You know, I've heard someone that it is when they are highly tipsy, intoxicated that they have control, they have grip on the steering. I said, how does it work?
It does not work because when you are highly intoxicated, you are under the influence of alcohol and drugs. How will you? Because there's this sense of the brain will tell you there's this sense of hand and eye contact.
Okay.
There's this essential skills in driving skill. Your hand and your eye contact. You will not be able to. Your hand, your eye will not be focused. Your hand are supposed to be on the steering, holding the steering. That time you'll be playing music, enjoying yourself, dancing in the steering because you are not on the right sense. If you see somebody on your right senses driving, you have to consider other road users. You will see that, oh, I'm not the only person on this road. I have to give way to traffic. I have to know that the road is shared responsibility. But because I am under the influence of alcohol, I will think that I am the only person on the road. And that will lead to traffic crashes.
Wow. The consequences of this
It's high.
is high.
It
And
affects not only you,
we
it
hope
affects your
people
family.
don't learn in a hard way. Is it when one of your leg is gone, and anytime you look at your leg, you remember that you caused
one bottle of alcohol that caused this for me.
Now
what you can be prevented.
It can be prevented. You are going to talk to us about how we can prevent it, but that will be after this break. Let's go on a short break. Yes, we have been talking about dangers of drunk driving, and our in-house person is talking to us, advising us. But now let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll have more for you. Stay with us, please. Welcome back, and if you've just tuned in, the program is Good Morning Abuja, and it is coming to you from the Unity Station. Yes, we've been talking about dangers of drunk driving. Before we went on that break, you told us a lot of consequences and high risk associated with drunk driving. Now, tell us how we can prevent it.
You can prevent drunk driving.
Okay.
We said if you must drink, don't drive.
Must you even drink?
If you drink, don't drive. That's a very simple way of preventing drunk driving. If I'm to drink, I should be able to park my vehicle and board a public transport. If I must go out, board a public transport to go to where I'm going to. Maybe you have closed from work, and these days we normally have a high rate of crashing during weekends when people go to clubs in the evening and in the weekends. And you see at the end, you see the vehicle park well at the quarter.
Yes,
because
they went to park very well
in the quarter. So we pray that nothing happened to them. And that is why we said, if you must drink, you don't drive. If you must go home, park your vehicle, take the public transport, go back home.
Okay.
That will already prevent drunk driving. And we also advise people, because we have so many penalties given to them.
Yes.
Because we use
because that is the next question. Spell out the penalties if you are caught.
Because we go around to garages, to motor parks, to test drivers with the help of alcoholizer and breathalyzer. This to tell you the level of alcoholic content in your body. And when we get to the motor parks, if your alcoholic content is high, and when you show it in the breathalyzer or alcoholizer, will tell you cannot mount this vehicle, you cannot drive at this moment, because the life of the people are in danger. And the penalty is much. Okay. Because when we got you being drunk driving, it's a very dangerous aspect of driving. So we might not say we might say it's a criminal case, but in this case we will not say criminal case because first of all, we'll fine you. You pay fine. When you pay fine, At times, when you go to court, you get prison jail time, imprisonment, also suspension of your driver's license.
Wow.
Because when we notice that you cannot be every time you're always you're always drunk. Why should you be given a license? So we have to suspend your license so that you cannot drive for some time or you will not drive again.
Wow, this is this is awesome because this penalty you just spelled out for us. I hope people will
Your
learn.
vehicle can also be impounded.
Impounded.
Because we will not allow you to drive your vehicle when you are drunk.
Okay.
Because when we see you are drunk, that means we are telling you go and kill yourself and kill others.
Wow.
So when we find out you are drunk, your vehicle will be impounded. Part of the punishment.
Okay. Your Ember Month sensitization that you've been doing, I know I want us to link it and attribute it to what we are discussing this morning on dangers of drunk driving. You know, at times when you're drunk, you're tipsy, your sense will be telling you to put more speed. And we know the danger of overspeeding again.
And that's why we tell the commercial in his wisdom.
Okay.
Come out with this year Ember Month campaign with a team that speak out against dangerous
driving.
Crashes kill more passengers than drivers. And when you see somebody that is being tipsy, is being drunk, and is driving you, and you sit inside the vehicle, what are you doing? You are telling them, I'm going to die. Go and kill me. Go and injure me. Wow. So why don't you speak out? And tell the person, no, sir, you cannot drive this vehicle because you are drunk. Okay. If it's a company vehicle, please go to the company, go back to the managers, tell them these drivers should be changed. Because at that moment, if you don't speak out, you are dangerous, your life, you are risking your life and other motorists. Who knows who will deliver us from this country tomorrow? Okay. And the person will gone with just a second because I'm drunk.
Wow. Okay, this is Ember Month and a whole lot of sensitization is ongoing. Now, I want you to quickly talk about overloading.
Overloading is also a major cause of road traffic crashes. And we always tell people, don't overload your vehicle.
Okay.
Don't overload your vehicle because you are saying economy is hard, fuel is high, I need to recover from it. How did you recover from it when you are overloading your vehicle? Do you think about the tear and wear of the vehicle? A vehicle that is meant to carry 2 passengers, 4 passengers, and you are carrying 6, 7 at the time, and you think of the vehicle, the rate of wear and tear will be more. And you as a driver, you will not be able to control the vehicle, especially when you carry more than what you are supposed to carry in the front. You will not be able to control the vehicle well. And apart from that, the more load you carry, the more weight you are giving to the vehicle. And the vehicle will also use more fuel to consume. You consume more fuel than when you carry normal. So there's no sense in carrying overloads.
Wow.
Overload should not be allowed in our roads. And that is why FRC has gone out in totally to stop overloading in the road. We can't see overload and close our eyes. When one will see overload, we will make sure that we apprehend you. If we cannot apprehend you, then we call a nearby command, a nearby road safety, maybe any police checkpoint or army checkpoint, because we have this collaboration with them. We will apprehend you and make sure that vehicle will not go anywhere. We are out for overloading people.
Wow, thank you so much. But before I let you go, give us safety tips on our road as we round up the year. So many activities will be on the road. Give us safety tips.
As you know, we are now in the Ember Month period, and this is a period that intake of alcohol is high, is increased. So you advise people, please, if you must drink, don't drive your vehicle. You can board a public transport. And please reduce your speed this time. No, don't overspeed your vehicle. And as you are a passenger, speak out. Don't just sit down in the vehicle. Speak out because you know your life is at stake. And if the vehicle is not in good working condition, please, drivers, get to a nearby mechanic. Make sure your vehicle are fixed before you proceed on the road. And avoid overloading your vehicle.
Overloading. And if drivers are fatigued, if they are tired.
If you're tired, please pack and rest. Especially now, people want to travel because of now. You want to travel from Abuja to Anambra, or you want to go and come back
the same day.
The same day. You're tired. You cannot cheat nature. So please, when you're tired, pack and rest. Your life is important. you want your life.
Okay, thank you so much for your time with us this morning and for educating us. Usual how we do it every Thursday, especially on the topics we looked at this morning, the dangers of drunk driving. We do really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
All right, we've been talking on the topic dangers of drunk driving, and CRC Silvanos Efeong, who is the unit head of operations, Central Business District of the Federal Road Safety Corps, has talked to us this morning. He has advised us, if you must drink, do not drive. If you're tired, rest because you cannot cheat nature. Please let's ensure we stay safe and alive for our family and especially the society at large because we need one another to grow in our nation. Now let's go on this quick break. When we come back, we'll still be here and we'll bring more for you. Stay with us, please.